working for us to check weather, and I believe it is still not working. I don't know why the Met always can't get their act together. I could go to Barbados and get everything. But anyway, I have no idea what the weather is going to be like for today. I'll probably find it later. Folks, I just saw something that I thought I'd never see. Young Kirby walking with a broom. Is that the first time you held a broom, Kirby?
In here, yeah.
In here?
Yes.
No, period.
No, Steve. I'm a clean fanatic.
Yeah, what are you doing after 9?
Clean, serene.
What are you doing after 9?
I'm very busy. Sorry.
No, you're not busy. You need to come to Cure Up and help me clean. That's Kirby. She's on Boom Champions weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. with Shane and usually Rome. All right. Okay, so I gave you the weather. Let's see who sent us hellos first thing this morning. I don't know. Wendell should be in any moment now. Let's see. First off the gate. Of course, you can send me a message via YouTube. Like Oliver Manwaran sent us a morning. He said it's Friday. That's right. It's Friday. DJ Ray out in Delaware. Trini in Boston. Good morning to you. Doreen Pierre. Good morning. Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Ray can take a flight down here and help me clean. Marcia Rock, you can do the same thing. I need to clean this store as we're moving. You know, when you're moving, is pressure. So we pretty much moved everything from Curep to El Socorro. That's what's up. The only problem I had was that I unplugged the Lynx machine to put it into another router because I had two. I have Amplia, which I have no problems with. I think they're pretty good. And I plug it in the Digicel and it just doesn't want to work. I called Digicel. Well, I don't have to tell you how that went. It made no sense. So Ray, I expect you here. You can board a flight this afternoon and get here this evening and help me clean for the weekend. You can fly back up Sunday night. How is that? Marcia Rock, good morning. Miss Ingrid out in Tucson, Arizona. Good morning to you. You know, I saw a story at Tucson, Arizona, and I can't remember what it is. Okay, it come to me. Rena Bodo Jennings, good morning. Trinidad Margot, good morning. Gloria Gray, what's happening? Carol Guevara, Wagwan. Carl M. Jack, good morning to you. Karen Yipnow, good morning. 2 with slight. I could certainly do it to it medium. No sweet sauce. Plenty Chardonnay. Love a kuchla. That's my doubles. No sweet sauce. I do not like sweet sauce on the doubles. I do not. Do you all like sweet sauce on the doubles? Cucumber? Yeah, I'm 50-50 on that one. If I'm having, I have a little bit. Diana Benskin. Hello from the UK. All right. Diana, when last I had a good doubles. God, I'm talking about doubles and I'm feeling hungry. I am hungry now. And there's no place around here I could get some good doubles. There's doubles and there's good doubles. I usually buy my doubles at Ali's in Barataria. Failing that, I buy from Ken in Curep on the Southern Main Road. Failing that, I don't buy from anybody else. No. Medium. Yes, Karen, medium. Let me tell you something. Karen says, Steve-O's, you aging. What about the extra hot days? Let me tell you something. The first time I had doubles by Ali's, I asked them for plenty pepper. Let's just put it this way. I couldn't come to work the next day. So I learned my lesson. You see that roast pepper? I love a roast pepper. I'm a pepper mouth. I love a roast pepper. Diane Benskin out in the UK said, last week, I make a good one for myself. Oh, you just make doubles, Diana? Well, look at you. I need to go fight bad for doubles, says Karen. Ewart Ratchpole, good morning to you. It's Friday, and TNT is still a nice place. Now, TNT is very much a nice place, you know. Ice cubes, you have no idea. Ice cubes and milk. Um, or you learn from YouTube. Nah, I can't learn doubles from YouTube. I can't. But you have to respect doubles, people, huh? Especially in the morning. We get up, we go on the road, we go to the office. You decide, I'm going to pick up 2 doubles. You ever thought about what time they get up? I actually know a doubles vendor that they get up at midnight and start making doubles to leave the house at 4 o'clock in the morning. You have to give them credit, bro. You have to give them credit. You have to. Wendell Stephen, how art thou?
Morning, Steve. Morning. Well, Paul is not with us this morning. Morning,
Paul got
Richard.
their favorite place. He's probably en route.
He probably still en route. Maybe he might have. Well, he would have touched down in London by now.
Oh yeah,
If he went through.
I think he went through London. So yeah, he'd be there by now. I don't know what time would be his connecting flight.
Yeah, he probably
And
does
I don't know from London if there's a direct to Ghana or.
Yeah, he has to change airport though.
No, from London.
There's a direct to Ghana, but he will have to change airports in London.
Yeah, he'll have to change aircraft.
He will land at Gatwick, and then go across to Heathrow.
Yeah.
So more than likely,
how long is that flight
on
from?
A plane already to Ghana.
Yeah, how long is that flight from London to Ghana?
Another 7 hours of flying.
Yeah.
So between 9 and 10 hours to London, and then another 7 hours to Ghana. It's a long trip. Trust me.
I know a friend this year left Toronto, flew to London, and then London to South Africa direct on an A380. Mm-hmm. And then she had to, wherever she was going, she had to fly another 2 hours.
Yeah.
Inside of South Africa. And she did that all in one shot. Huh? She didn't take a day or two.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
When we were going to China, it was a long trip also to China, and we didn't overnight anywhere. China was long.
Yeah, China.
Australia was long, but
I think Australia would be the longest.
Australia was the longest, but we stopped going. We stopped on the way and we stopped on the way back.
Yeah, you can do that.
On the way to and on the way back.
Yeah. Folks, if you don't know, let's say you're flying let's use Australia, for example. You could book your tickets in such a manner that you're booking direct to Australia, but in transit, you could spend a day or two with no extra cost. With no extra cost. We have to know how to do it. Yeah. Because if you want to fly from here to, let's use New York, I don't need route. We could stay 2 days in New York, and you're still in transit, and you don't have to pay extra to say, well, I'm booking a flight to New York. I'll stay 2 days in New York, and then I'll fly directly to Australia. No, you don't have to do that. There's a way of doing it.
But they're clamping down on that, because a lot of people are doing that now, and they're trying to which is why KLM moved that drastic way with me the other day, saying that if I miss my first leg of my flight, I can't pick up the flight in Paris.
You know what? Because there are some people, for example, let's say if you fly to Australia and it costs $100,
mm-hmm.
and if on the way you have to stop to New York, and you decide to fly directly from Port of Spain to New York, and that's $200. I forgot the term, what they use for that. Some people book the flight to Australia because it's cheaper. When it stops in New York, that's their final destination.
Airline. Yeah, people have been doing that.
A lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, I had a little sinus attack last night. So I don't know if you could see my eye through my glasses. My eye is swollen. I rubbed my eye a whole lot last night. Lord, I didn't sleep much.
We moved the pet butler yesterday, so we had to make a few trips via the truck. And that was exhausting, and putting up the security system, and I probably did Barataria to Curep, San Juan to Curep about 8 times yesterday.
Oh God, no.
8 times. And then here's the funny thing for the security cameras. So I moved the security cameras from Curep to, one set of the security cameras from Curep to San Juan. and I cannot remember the password.
Oh God, no.
So he said he'll figure it out and let me know today. I'm,
Yeah. You
I
see
am.
that password thing, that's a big issue for me. A
Yeah,
big
I
issue
normally
for me.
use one password, but I used that and it didn't work.
Hmm.
So I say I'll sleep on it. I got locked out because I tried so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wait a whole 24 hours. But yeah,
Oh.
we are moving the pet butler from Harris Street in Kirep to El Socorro Main Road and Mirage Street. It is if you come in from the Quasi, you bounce up the Unipet gas station. You know where that is, Wendell?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Quasi. We are one block south of that
Okay. All
on the
right.
western side.
Well, that's pretty easy to find.
It is, and would you believe it is so busy?
Yeah. El Socorro Road, is
Oh
there any part
my
of El Socorro Road
God.
that's not busy?
The reason we moved from Curap is because, it was a bit too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Bobby and Lady Mechanics opposite. So they were always there. It was a security factor. They were always there. A lot of people coming in. And they moved out after 25 years. And the place got quiet until people were getting robbed right at the corner
Oh,
in
yeah.
broad daylight. The last one is at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
Venezuela National got robbed.
you don't want a lot of machine in an area like that.
Yeah, so that's why we're moving out.
Mm.
Well, I did tell NLCB it's a relocation. And but they have their. I mean, I got really upset because I said I wanted to open on the first working day in October, and this was since the beginning of September, and they said they have to discuss it. I did get a bit upset because now I have my two people that work in the lottery machine. They will have no work
Mm-hmm.
come next week because
Right.
NLCB all they did was send a guy to see, make sure, okay, this is where it is. All right, good. Okay, right, good. That's it. And
Mm.
it's just to hear from them. But that process is such a long process, and I think that because they have so many agents out there, and they collect so much
Mm-hmm.
money on a daily basis that there are issues with the agents that they should be meeting on a regular basis. One would think, but
Mm.
we are a small organization and we meet more times than they would meet to
Yeah.
make decisions.
Well,
So I just have to wait on them. I mean, I can't turn it. So whenever they say okay, is when I'll go and start doing everything for that. But right now, it's just to get the store up and running. Pretty much,
mhm.
we'll be up and running by Monday morning in our new location. You can follow us on Facebook. Just look for the Pet Butler, and
Mhm.
yeah, the only thing we do not do at the Pet Butler is sell animals. You want a pet? You want a dog, a certain dog, and you tell me. I may know someone that has a dog and they'll sell it. So I just made the link. But the only thing I might do is birds.
I'm not gonna suggest birds.
Yeah,
Birds pretty
yeah,
easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
birds. Sell all the paraphernalia. Let me tell you, these people that walk around with their cages with these birds in it, that's a hell of a thing. There are a lot of people spend thousands of dollars for a bird. And if
Mm-hmm.
it's a singer, oh good. You buy a
Mm.
house for that.
All right.
So that's our new location coming up on Monday. Don't forget me with the thing, Wendell. Put it in your car.
No, no, I won't forget.
I'm borrowing Wendell's dancing man. I
Yeah.
would
So
have, if
look
I
for
had
the
time, I
dancing
would have
man
go to
in your
St. James
past.
for it. But I just like I have to be in San Juan for 8:30 this morning. I have some people coming in. So as soon as 8 o'clock reach, puff of smoke and I'm gone.
Mm.
Good morning to Leonard Naipaul. Carl M. Jack says Baghdad to Daha, 2.5 hours. Daha
Doha.
to JFK, 14 hours. And then 5 hours JFK to Port of Spain. Yeah. Maria
Mm.
Celia, good morning. And good morning to my brother Garth from Valencia. Diana Benskin is asking, or she's asking if former Miss Grand knows the national anthem.
Well, it's too late for that. She's former now, so
Yeah.
you know what I regret not doing. I should have offered sponsorship for that girl. and then pulled it at the last minute, That way I would have
Yeah,
get
get
money. And then
mileage.
I would have get mileage like I never get before.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's exactly what that show got. Mileage.
You know,
A show that nobody knew about before. A
yeah,
competition that nobody knew about. They get endless mileage from that.
I don't know where they. And what? So you win Miss Grand. Then what? It's not like Miss Universe or Miss World. Then what? You get a crown and a sash? I don't know.
Well,
and then you have a competition. I forgot where it's going to be held this year. Vietnam.
All
right. So you the franchise holder has a competition. One would think that in order to have this competition, we need to have prizes. We need to secure hotel accommodation for the individual, the winner and the chaperone, a stipend or per diem, as you want to call it, pay for airfare. I don't think you win a competition and then start looking for sponsorship. But the judges, I will call the judges.
I think they just found a clever way to kill the old talk and pull her out. I think that's
that goes a lot deeper. But the judges, I don't know who the judges are, or were, should I say?
Yeah.
But clearly, all the tools not in that. They should have known that.
All the crap, all the pressure they were under, I think they just decided to use that no sponsorship thing as an excuse to pull out.
I have a question. I have a question here. Don't mean to digress. Carl M. Jack, does your daughter play volleyball overseas? It's a question being asked. He wants to know if you're the same person, I guess. Carl M. Jack, does your daughter play volleyball overseas? Let me know. I think somebody's trying to reach you.
Okay. That question is not there on YouTube, right?
No. They just WhatsApp me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And I big news, Wendell. I didn't see any of the pictures.
Which picture is that?
And the wedding. Well, we should have said that Anita Haynes got married on the weekend. And I'll leave you to break the other news. Who got married on the weekend, Wendell?
Well, there was talk that 2 MPs got married. That talk has been circulating since Monday, I think.
Well, we know Anita Haynes got married.
Yeah, they say it's 1 MP from the yellow side, 1 MP from the red side. So we've confirmed already that Anita Haynes was married because we saw the picture.
Right.
And yesterday, the picture of the other MP, she is from Tobago, Shamfa Kojo, Minister of Sport, and is it youth development? I'm not sure if it's youth development. Minister of Sport got married also. So both of them got married
in Barbados or here.
I'm not sure where both weddings took place.
Right.
But they looked extremely happy. They looked almost like if they married brothers. Both of the 2 guys look alike.
Yeah, the 2 guys, Anita Haynes' husband and Shamfa Kajo's husband, they kind of resemble.
I find so. I found so.
I thought at first I thought somebody photoshopped it, because but when I looked at it closely last night, I said,
Yeah. No, it's two different weddings. You could see that.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Anita Haynes, and I think her husband is Adisa Allen. And I'm not sure what Shamfa Kujo's husband's name is, but congratulations to them both on wedded bliss, as I say, every now and then you see people celebrating 40 and 50 years of a marriage, and then you see people celebrating 5 and 6. So good luck to both of them on their marriages. I don't know if either of them have children as yet. I don't think so. I've never heard about them having children.
Well, I know Anita does not have. And I know Shamfa Kajo does not have. I don't know about the husbands.
Right, yeah. But I don't know the husbands at all. I've never seen them before, but good luck to them,
All right.
Marriage is nice.
Marriage is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just, we asked Carl M. Jack if his daughter plays volleyball. His answer is, yes. Sinead is her name. So there you go, PT. Sinead is her name, and he says yes. So I guess you both know each other.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Morning, Brenda Isaac. Trinidad first, good morning. And I was
I have
watching.
some birthday greetings. Let
Oh,
me get
I
them out.
didn't
Quite a
check.
bit. Of course,
Oh Lord,
we in
only a
Libra
3 hour
season.
show.
We in Libra season, of course, and we coming to the end of September Librans.
Mhm.
So Ancilla Kirby, Kim Francis, Hafiz Ali, Marisha De Pisa, Suzanne Williams. She used to be at Republic Bank.
Mhm.
Michelle Edwina Ile, the only white girl I know who came from behind the bridge. She lives in Texas now. She moved out a while now. So happy birthday, Edwina. I'll message you later. Michael Alain, happy birthday. Uh, Big Mike Detox Man, I think he's a herbalist. Ariane Samuel, Denise Oliver, lots of birthdays today. And Carol Charles, she used to be a counselor at Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation. She is celebrating her birthday today. And of course, over the weekend is my goddaughter, Jewel Mutu Strong. She is over the weekend. And Roland Sanka, my barber. He is tomorrow. Both Jewel and Roland are September 30th. All right. So happy birthday in advance to you wonderful Libran people.
Yeah, today is also the birthday of Marlene Kudre.
Oh, it is. Happy birthday,
Yes,
Marlene.
happy, very nice lady. Of course, on the weekend, for my list, Samantha Rochard will be celebrating her
I
birthday
was just
tomorrow.
about to call her name. I'm now
Yeah,
seeing my list for tomorrow too.
yeah. Sprang
And
along.
Denise Chin, she listens to us.
Hi,
Good
Denise.
morning, Miss Chin. Yeah.
Yeah. Sprang along would have celebrated his 74th birthday tomorrow.
Oh,
Rest in peace, Sprang. I know they're having a concert up there.
all right.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Um,
Sunday is the son of Gloria Charles Pantin, Jassy Charles Pantin. He will be celebrating his birthday on Sunday.
mhm.
So I have Gloria. I'm sure Gloria is listening. Happy birthday in advance, Jassy. And well, lots of birthdays next week. Ooh, look at how many people
Well, it's
we know.
October, the best month of the year.
Yeah, plenty people who we know too celebrating their birthdays next week.
I hope to get plenty cake and ice cream.
Hmm.
That's all I'm hoping for.
All right, including third base. This is next week, Thursday.
Yeah, the 5th.
Yep.
Yeah. Ingrid Isaac's birthday is next week, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wayne B., good morning. Locked on from Covington, Georgia. Good morning to you, Wayne B. Let me see if PP sent me. Call him Jack. My friend that WhatsApp me asking about your daughter says she is a super player. I think she's playing in Belgium now and played one time in Russia. Carl and one of my brothers are now live in Kentucky. They attended school in Trinidad. Carl is an ex-police worker. Oh, okay, I don't understand that. Carl is an ex-police working UN. Oh, okay, working UN. Carl, I'm Jack. Okay, my aunt used to work at UN.
So
No.
Shamfor Kojo's husband, his name is Nelton Lewis, and no, she does not have any children. So she is Mrs. Lewis, and Anita Haynes is Mrs. Alain.
Mrs. Arlene. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Mrs. No, Anita Haynes? I can't say Anita Haynes can anymore.
Nope. Nope.
I see Wendell, I don't know if you can send a message for those two craters that we have on the corner of Abercrombie and Park, please.
I tell her they leave me out of corporation business.
I just saying. No, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get maybe next week when I get some time. I have a crocus bag of dirt. I think I'm going to plant a 2-foot tall tree. In both, because that is the only way these things will get work.
Probably.
I really don't know. Wendell, I am sorry that you're part of
it. Reach social media and
yeah. Or maybe I could get somebody to bathe in it. It's not that big yet for a week. But that's the only way things will get done. That is the only way things will get done. I see last week there was a big pothole and in the neighborhood planted a couple of trees. The next day it was repaired. I really don't know And I don't know what happened to Minister Alwari. He has gone silent, completely silent, even before the local government elections. And why he's not pulled up the socks of some of these corporations. You know, and everybody thinks, well, the Ministry of Works is the Ministry of Works. Not for pothole. Ministry of Works will do the highways. But within the areas, it is the corporations. We're 2 blocks up, actually, from the Red House. 2 blocks. Only reason
Morning, Richie Rich.
The only reason I ramping on that is because I went into one this morning and I could swear.
Well, you can't drive on Tompuna Road in Arima then. At least they did Omera Road, most of Omera Road. But Tompuna Road in Arima has to be the worst road in eastern Trinidad and Tobago.
You muted, Rich.
I think Richard just nodded in agreement with me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not sure if his mic is on yet, though.
Yeah. Are you hearing me now?
Right.
No, we're not hearing you, Rich.
Yeah. No, I don't know what just happened there. Yes, you're right, Wendell. Tompuna Road has been consistently terrible. And some of the little patches they do, that patch lasts maybe 3 weeks, a month.
Substandard work.
It's terrible.
You get 15 to 20 people to patch one pothole, and it does not last.
Well, I don't know if it's 15 or 20 people patching that pothole, huh?
No, I counted 13. The little patch that they did on Abercrombie Street, I counted 13 people. The last time
it's always the same areas in Tompuna Road for some reason.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's the same areas. So you there are some parts in Tompuna Road you have to come out of your lane and go to the other lane.
Yes. Or you stop and wait.
Yeah.
You have to stop and wait for the traffic to pass, then to get around the pole.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Beyond the traffic that you encounter lower down.
Yeah.
It's just a horrible road in terms of, the maintenance and then the traffic that you meet.
And the road is already so narrow. That
the road is narrow. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Morning, by the way, guys, and morning to our listeners.
Morning, Richie Rich. I did not watch your mixed up last night. I'm waiting for I will have no time tonight. I'll watch them tomorrow. The last 2 episodes, I don't know why you didn't do 10. You just give us 5.
Because it wasn't my money.
It's a series, huh? It's meant to be a series, huh?
No, but it is a series.
Yeah.
So 5 episodes were what was commissioned for the first season. Well, the first season, meaning you don't know if there's going to be a second.
Yeah.
And depending on...
You know what, Rich? I have to give you kudos for that play. I really do. I know it's your full production. It is a Richard Raghubar Singh's series. Kudos, because we have given you so much pong, as we call it, to do a play of the month. And now you have done mixed up with some actors that we have never met before. The young guy, the schoolboy, the little girl, the schoolgirl.
But it's only Penelope Spencer, we know.
Oh God, what's her name again, Rich? It went right out of my mind.
But Patty and Ali has been
around. Yeah.
Patty and Ali is...
I've known Patty Ann for a very long time.
Her
father was Ian Ali.
Is the other grandmother. Yeah.
Oh, so people like Morganes and Sexy San Fernando would know Ricky Tiki. I won't.
Yeah. And Kevin, the husband, I've never acted with Kevin, I don't think, in a play, but he's been around on the theater circuit for a while.
Yeah, as if I know him from an ad, maybe a TV ad or something.
Yeah, he's in a couple of ads.
That's where I know him from.
Kevin has been in theater for a while.
By the time I get into it, it ends. And then I have to wait. So that's why I'm watching it.
Yeah. But tonight is the last episode.
I know. And then you're going to give us a cliffhanger. And then we have to wait.
So, tonight is the last
Wendell,
episode.
And we were not even part
of
that series. We could have been, Wendell, the fellas who moved in the bed. We could have been those two fellas. But no, we have a partner.
You can imagine me and you
created a
lifting up a
series
bed.
and didn't even think about
No,
us.
I
We're
don't
out the
think so.
sight, out the mind, you know. We
But
could have
remember-
bring that bed. We could have been working at dwellings.
But remember, this process was of building capacity.
I don't want to hear about your process. You
building
never thought of us.
capacity project.
Mm.
That was the intent of Film TT. Because remember, it was a competitive process. I had to win to get to this point.
Yes.
To have that 5 episode. And I think the thinking of Film TT and Leslie and Wills Keaton is that if the 5 episodes are well received, it can engage sponsors and financiers to finance the second season, which could be, let's say, 10 episodes.
All right.
Now, I know a lot of people internationally are getting geo-blocked messages with regard to streaming the episodes. So they're finding it difficult to stream. I know my family and friends in North America generally, also our family in Vietnam and in the UK and stuff. And they were finding it very difficult to stream. And sometimes they would get the first 5 minutes and then it's geo-blocked. It's saying it's blocked in this district.
Right.
I think people were trying all sorts of ways to get workarounds to that so that they could see the episodes. But there was an intention.
They was trying to do that.
And the intention is on Film TT and TD side is that it be seen locally because they are trying to get it sold internationally.
Right.
Hence it's being blocked internationally.
But I got a question for you, Richard. I want to know.
So that's why people would be experiencing that. Because
when I watch
tonight, I know tonight is just because tonight is the final episode. My thinking is after tonight it's going to be pulled. You can't stream it again on TTC.
So my burning question to you, like an old rush, is when the final episode of season 1 ends at tonight, when can one expect season 2?
Well, that's a product of, several decisions have to be made for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is finance.
So is it that you're writing in preparation for it?
All right. So Rich,
hold
on. Let me see.
I am supposed to be
hold
writing.
Hold on.
My process for writing is different. I think about things a lot in my mind before I start to actually physically write.
Okay, Rich, here.
I think things out because there are certain plot lines in the 5 episodes that I have intentionally not resolved in the sense of that it's a season 2 issue that will be brought up.
Okay, understand.
Okay, Rich.
So you have certain lines.
Rich, look at 20. I'm helping you out. Every cent counts. That's a 20 for you. That's the only money I have in my wallet. I don't know why I walk with the wallet.
You're trying to inveigle Richard to use tea room language on air.
No, but
he tried
I sponsor him. I give him a 20.
You find one letter from Tat. Enough.
He tried to do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, you should do a GoFundMe for Richard's play. I will certainly put into that.
It's another play. It's a television series.
Well, a television series. But you know what, Rich? It is something that so help me go back a bit. Is this the first? No, what was the other one that you were in?
Westwood Park.
Westwood Park. Since Westwood Park, has there been another series?
Yes, there's been. The name escapes me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another one.
Because Westwood Park had how many episodes?
Kind of like Westwood Park. Turn of the Tide would have been before.
Yeah,
Westwood Park.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
But so Westwood Park was how many episodes? Do you recall?
Who? Turn of the Tide?
No, Westwood Park.
Westwood Park was about 3 or 4 seasons.
But how many episodes per season?
Probably at least 10 or 13. I can't remember right off the top of my head. The standard in television back then would have been 13 episodes per season. That standard has changed. So now you have episodic TV on things like Netflix and stuff that could be as small as four episodes in a season for some shows,
Mhm.
to as much as 20 episodes in a season.
Yeah.
Sometimes more than 20. Sometimes you have 20. Sometimes you have shows that have 26 episodes in the first season.
Yeah, the last season I
the
watched really
range,
was hijacked.
because of the streaming platforms now, episodic television has transformed in a way where the amount of episodes per season is it's a spectrum.
Mhm.
You know,
Well,
but
I hope TDT.
the standard back then with Westwood Park, I think, was 13.
Well, I hope TTT would, after it ends tonight, maybe in a month's time or whatever, do a repeat, encore, for those that missed it. You know, and maybe the other television networks could buy it from you guys and air it themselves. You know, so maybe they could do that. So people that didn't watch it, it aired on TTT. It aired tonight, 8 o'clock TTT.
That would be a decision for TTT and Film TT, etc.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other stations
out of my hands, basically.
Yeah, I know that's out of your hands.
So we'll see how it all goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as we talk on television, and this is kind of connected. I'm having this issue with Flow, and it's not a.
So before you get there, did you call the number I gave you?
I did.
And
it
worked or it didn't work?
Well, I don't know yet. The girl I spoke to was trying to. She was the most helpful of the bunch.
Yeah, the lady. Yeah, she's very helpful. I don't know her name, but she did tell me. I can't remember.
It's your Flow being broken down or anything like breaking down or anything like that. Since August 26th, I have made a request to change my package because they have new bundles out now. And I said, okay, there was a bundle that would take down the price I currently pay by almost $300. So I said, you know, let me go to that package. Since August 26th, I made that request, Wendell. A request that, according to the operator that I spoke to, should take 3 days. We're now on the verge of October. And they still can't accomplish it yet. And any movement that has happened in that request is me calling maybe once a week or every other week to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
You understand? And everybody, they say, well, I sent an email. Nothing irritates me more than a company where the only source of communication you have with managers or a technical department or whatever is a bloody email.
Yeah.
Because emails are things that people can say, oh God, I didn't see it. I miss it. I don't know if it went in my junk. You know, that kind of crap?
Yep.
So everything is, well, I sent an email. I said, don't you all use telephones anymore? Do you all only send emails? Because obviously it's not working. And I've been with Flow for 20 years.
Yep.
I say I'm a 20-year-old customer to your corporation, and this is the kind of service that's being meted out. I say on any barometer, this is colossally inefficient of any organization, not only in how you treated a 20-year-old customer who has been there with you for 20 years. I say I there longer than probably you born, or you must was a little girl. That's what I'm telling the CSR. I say you're probably a little girl. And I said, this is the runaround simply because I want to save some money.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And all these companies are the same.
I said, I just want to change to one of your packages. And of course, they love to say, somebody will call you and nobody calls you.
Yep.
What a colossally inefficient company, Flow. Yep. I'm sorry, that's the only thing that I could come up with after I've spoken to so many CSRs.
Yeah.
To the point where I called the last one thing, Wendell, is Friday last week. I called them before the holiday, and she said, "Okay, everything is sorted out. It's approved. Everything. Somebody is going to come this week." but I know Monday's a holiday. So I said, fine, Tuesday, Wednesday. I said, let me call Thursday because I understand, because I've been speaking with you since August 26th, I understand you are now an inefficient company. So inefficient companies, you have to deal with them in a particular way.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me call yesterday. When I called yesterday, the girl said, but you declined. I said, what? I said, the last person I spoke to on Friday, I told them, she told me that they could come Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the last. So I said, I've been waiting. She said, well, the note I seen here is she offered to send the technician and I declined.
Yeah.
I said, what?
Yeah.
I said, I now feel like an abused spouse. I said, that's how I now feel. I said, why on earth would I have made a request since August 26th? And at the point it's finally being resolved, you was going to say, I declined. Why would I decline?
Yeah.
I said, that makes no sense.
It makes
I told them, you know what? I said, this is just an indication to me. I said, it's not that I have a problem with the service, but the mere inefficiency and how you all have treated me as a 20-year-old customer is reason for me to leave you by Monday morning. If this is not resolved, I'm out.
Well, Richard, I'm sorry to disappoint you because I have had my issues with flow. You know that. I've spoken about it endless times. I've reached the stage where one time I took the boxes and I carried back. I dropped it back. But guess what? I still went back to them because I tried Green Dot and I tried Amplia and I tried, and all of them is the same. The other day, though, I asked Digicel to come and install by me. They told me that about 3 months ago that there was no room in the box by me. All of a sudden, last week they called me and said they're ready to do the installation. So they emailed me the contract and everything. I signed via the screen and emailed them back, agreeing to the terms of the condition and so on. And they say, good, a technician will contact me to come and do the installation. The technician contacts me, Richard, drives up here. I leave Port of Spain and rush up the road to meet this technician home. He comes here, goes out, they have some fancy machine, and say, Mr. Stephen, sorry, you know, but there are no room here, you know. I said, what do you mean there are no room? I said, all you call me and tell me all you have room. So it ain't no different with Digicel, you know. All of them is the same. All.
Yeah.
So I right now I'm back to the same old inefficient flow because Digicel set me up.
Yeah. But I don't know. My thing in flow is not that I have a bad service with them in terms of so it's not a quality issue in terms of my access to flow on the internet and stuff. My issue is the inefficiency and how you're treating a customer who's been with you for 20 years.
Yeah, well.
And not only that, Rich, there's a campaign out. We've heard your cries. We've do this.
Well, that's it. I said, well, I'm going to put up a post. And I said, I got so mad yesterday. I said, you know, I have been having such a wonderful day. And you all are now irritating me and stressing me out. And I said, I don't have to be stressed out for something so stupid.
Yeah.
I said, you all are giving me stress for something that's silly.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go through this for just a change of service? I said, why? Why do I have to go through all of this stress for that?
Yeah.
I said, it's silly. The mere idea I have to talk about it is silly and stupid.
And call me.
And call you.
And look now, and they quick to harass you, and when the time for the bill, the bill.
Of course,
yeah.
Oh gosh, you get calls,
just
emails, messages.
Annoying.
They harass you. Oh.
So anyway,
and
that's
then,
it.
Anyway, I ain't had time for
yeah, that's a good morning around a few people. Richard Jeremiah, good morning. Wayne Joseph. Morgans, good morning. The Great, good morning. Miss Bonnie West, hello. Ziba Peak, good morning. She's asking, where can we watch Richard's show online if you missed it? You can't. Winston Jones, good morning to you as well. Gentlemen, why you guys come up with a morning poll? Please do that, because I have to give the results and let people
We
know
have
what's happening.
newspapers. We ain't doing
Furniture
newspapers.
Plus,
Yes, I
yep,
do, you
new
know.
headlines. So go through
Yeah,
all
I
of that
have
by
it.
the time.
I have the newspapers. I do have the newspapers.
All right, while you do that, of course, we didn't talk about Carl Hanger roof being blown off. But anyway,
Well,
our
not
poll
just Carl
yesterday.
Hanna. Lots of people
Lots of roofs.
lost their roast yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Our poll yesterday was:
a
are
hell
you
of a thing, yeah?
happy? It is. Are you happy with Venezuelan national Milady Metrano stepping down as representative for Trinidad and Tobago at the Miss Grand International Local Pageant? That was our poll. I'll give you the result right after I tell you about Furniture Plus. They're having a sizzling mattress savings, and it's on right now. Yep, at Furniture Plus. Up to $1,700 on Serta, Sealy, and therapeutic mattresses with prices starting from as low as $7.99. Bases and mattresses accessories are also on sale. Check press and social media for details. All right. And let's see, there's another one I want to tell you about here. Let me just find it here quickly. Pavi. Yeah. Party with Pavi and Burn Team Global. They're having a charity cooler cruise. It's happening October 14th. Boarding at Lady Hales Avenue at 4 p.m. Sailing at 5 p.m. Party to the sounds of DJ Lovey, Dub Venda, and Juicy. Tickets at $250. Groups of 10, $2,000. And for tickets, you can call Chamika at 346-8730 or Candice at 271-9655. Good morning, Chamika and Candice. All right, it's happening October 14th, 4 p.m. Again, our poll yesterday. Are you happy with the Venezuelan national Milady Maturano stepping down as the representative for Trinidad and Tobago at the Miss Grand International Pageant? Well, 73%, 73, said yes. All right, let's get the headlines and get into our poll.
Yeah, I just want to say good morning to Miss Bonnet West and Oliver Manwaring. And thanks for your commendations on the series. It's appreciated. Thank you.
Jenny Fano, good morning.
So
All
lots
right,
of people say
headline.
good morning there on that on the comment section. Anyway, let me start with the Trinidad and Tobago news day for today, Friday, September 29th, 2023. Bad weather sweeps across South and Central. 11 roofs blown off. Oh, good God. That is, I mean, a nightmare. That is, I mean, a nightmare, I think. That you're at home and your roof is being blown off.
Yeah,
That's a nightmare.
you're at home, you're on the phone with Flo, trying to get sorted out, and whoosh, there goes your
I
roof.
don't know that the one, the phone with flow, but 11 roofs blown off. Hospital CEO awarded $1 million for false Facebook posts. Well, plenty of people would be glad for that because there's some people who are the subject of false Facebook posts from time to time. So $1 million that hospital CEO was awarded. And Cookie killed in Faizabad. That's also on the front page. On the back page, popular cycling event returns after 4 years. Phillips gives an avenue to cyclists. And so that's back on. And USA's Brown wins Tobago Cycling Classic. So that's the front and the back of the news day. I'll move on to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. Uproar over state of Guanapo victims' bodies. Sue them. Funeral Association boss blames TTPS for poor handling, tells family to take action against authorities.
TTPS getting blamed?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, you just said TTPS. Anyway, after the headlines.
Yeah, and then, of course, the main picture is roofs blown off in Central and South. And pageant owners deny Queen had to pay own way.
How the TTPS getting blamed for the handling of the bodies? They rush those bodies to forensic?
Well, I don't know, but they're getting blamed. And it's Keith Belgrave Association of Funeral Professionals of TNT. His picture is there. Anyway, on the back page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, Army escapes withdraw. That's the back page story. Moving on to the last of the three dailies this morning. This is the Daily Express, Friday, September 29th. Roofs ripped off, trees uprooted as sudden high winds wreak havoc in south and central Trinidad. Like a real tornado is the headline. And it's giving you some example of some of the damage. Cops speak out on robberies. Beware bank sleepers, inverted commas. I don't know what they mean by sleepers. Is it that they mean people sleeping outside of the bank? Is that what they mean?
People lying in wait, I guess.
That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. But that's been happening a long time now. Huh? And you know, and all the stories they gave last night pointed to elderly people with large
let's see how many people so we can get into the poll.
Well, that's what they said, yes. People with large sums of money withdrawals. So maybe they're in the bank watching.
Listening to the machine.
Yeah. And the back of the Daily Express, Army spoilers, AC Port Spain hold defense force to draw in club championship. And that's it for our three dailies this morning. And it's Friday. The weekend has begun, people. So put a smile on your face.
Let's get into a nice Friday poll.
Well, let me say happy anniversary to Wendy Ann and her husband, Wendy Ann and James and Frank James, celebrating 56 wedded bliss tomorrow. 56 years, my God. Somebody need a trophy and somebody need
a poll, gentlemen.
All right, what poll you want to do, Richard? Because I was trying to get a poll out from what you were reading, but it's only bad news.
Maybe we should ask if TNT is ready for any sort of natural disaster.
Well, we've asked that before.
I think we asked that already.
Yesterday, we had quite a few roofs blown off again. Because did you look out to the sky? It was black. It was frightening.
Yeah, it was. After I left you, Wendell, it's got black.
Yeah. And the rain came from the west. The first time I've seen that in a while. It came from the west upwards to Arima.
I'm trying to see what's a possible poll. I mean, the main story is the issue of the roofs being the damage that would have been suffered.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main issue.
Yeah, this is a poll that's going for the entire weekend.
We also have the issue of Keith Belgrave. Earlham must deal with gross carelessness. Belgrave writes top cop on funeral homes handling of slain siblings. The Guanapo issue. So, president of the Association of the Funeral Professionals of Trinidad and Tobago, Keith Belgrave, has written to Commissioner of Police.
It should be Belgrove, you're saying, huh? Not Belgrave, huh?
Well, they say Belgrove. They had Belgrade, and then they have Belgrove in the article, actually.
It's definitely Belgrove.
Yeah. Keith Belgrove has written to Commissioner of Police, Earl Christopher, requesting that action be taken against the funeral home responsible for what he has described as the gross carelessness in which the bodies of the 4 murdered Peterkin siblings have been handled.
Oh, okay. So it's not the TTPS getting blamed. It's a funeral home. You understand? He is writing to the TTPS.
All right. Well, you will have during the 7 o'clock news to come up with a poll because we're going to head into that in 1 minute's time. So,
yeah.
Next hour, we'll give you a poll. You guys will shoo and come up with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll ask if action should be taken against a funeral home for the mishandling of the bodies of the 4 murder victims. All right? That'll be our poll, right? Do you think action should be taken against a funeral home for the mishandling of the bodies of the 4 murder victims?
It is Keith Belgrove. Yeah, you're right, Brendan.
Yes. Yeah, I know the Belgrove family.
But you know, this was a front story in one newspaper. It's a story inside one of the others. But the headline is a little kind of seems You have to contextualize the headline, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just says uproar over state of Guanapo, sue them, funeral association boss. But in this one, he says blames TTPS in this headline.
The TTPS would have been rushing helter-skelter with bodies on the bus route or wherever with police escort. No, man. They can't. How you can blame the TTPS? We always used to wonder where they're rushing with a dead body going. The TTPS can't be blamed. I can't see the TTPS being blamed.
No, I can't see it either.
What they're saying, he's according to this article, which is a little different in how it starts, Wendell, to the other one, they're saying the state should be sued because the bodies were allowed to deteriorate before the autopsy was done.
Right. So he talking about that forensic center. He can't be blaming the police for that.
Yeah.
The police would carry the bodies to either to a funeral home or to forensics. I can't see the so that's our question. Do you believe the state should be blamed for the condition of the bodies of the 4 murder victims, or are we going with funeral home?
Well, state, according to this article, he said his call came yesterday after the parents viewed the bodies at the Forensic Science Center in St. James on Tuesday and found the bodies of 3 of the 4 siblings to be swollen and discolored. And there's a quote, "There is legal redress the family should be considering. Of course, it starts with the state and the police," he said.
Well,
So
I don't know what the police.
you could throw in the state and the police in that, even though the state is, even the police is part of the state. On September 22nd, you can interrupt me anytime you're ready for the news there, Steve. On October 22nd at approximately 12:30 a.m., gunmen opened fire on the house at Larry Treat Extension Heights of Guanapo, and where the siblings would have died. However, the siblings' father, Sean Peterkin, complained about the state of their bodies after viewing and identifying them on Tuesday. The funeral for the siblings is carded for today in Arima. Belgrove yesterday told the newspaper that this was not the first time that something like this has happened, adding the association has been trying to get an audience with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to form a committee to deal with the collection of bodies from crime scenes. It is poorly organized and has caused extreme problems, he said. He said while he was not satisfied with the explanation given by the funeral home, which handled the bodies, he believes the police were at fault.
I don't see that. How that.
I still don't understand.
Yeah, we got to run into news, gentlemen. So let's do that right now. Ivy is in on this, the 29th day of September.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Here are your news headlines to 7 o'clock. Funeral body boss says parents should sue state on condition of murdered siblings' bodies. Crime affecting TNT's sustainable development goals, warns a United Nations official. Strong winds affect homes and school in Gasparillo, and government moving ahead with Liberate Deepwater dry docking facility. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintil-Bab. Good morning. The Association of Funeral Professionals of Trinidad and Tobago President Keith Belgrove says that the parents of the 4 Peterkin murder victims should sue their legal or explore their legal options over the state of their bodies and the fact that it was allowed to deteriorate before autopsies were conducted. His call yesterday came after the parents viewed their bodies at the Forensic Science Center in St. James on Tuesday and found that the bodies of 3 of the 4 siblings were swollen and discolored as such, they were advised that they could have a closed casket funeral only today. On September 22nd at approximately 12:30, gunmen opened fire on the house at Larrick Street Extension, Heights of Guanapo, where Faith Peterkin, 10, 14-year-old Ariana Peterkin, 17-year-old Shane Peterkin, and 19-year-old Tiffany Peterkin were asleep. 5 of their relatives were also injured in the attack. However, the siblings' father, Sean Peterkin, complained about the state of their bodies after viewing and identifying them on Tuesday. The funeral for the siblings will be performed today in Arima. Belgrove yesterday told Guardian Media that this was not the first time something like this has happened, and added that the association has been trying to get an audience with the TNT Police Service to form a committee to deal with the collection of bodies from crime scenes. The United Nations has revealed that crime is one of the factors affecting Trinidad and Tobago in its bid to achieve sustainable development goals. This point was highlighted by resident coordinator of the United Nations Systems Operational Activities for Development in Trinidad and Tobago, Joanna Kazana. The update was given at a news briefing held on Thursday. Ms. Kazana cited gang-related crime, illicit drugs, and illegal weapons as factors which are contributing to hampering this country in making progress in its sustainable development objectives. Media reports say strong winds accompanied by heavy rainfall ripped off roofs, uprooted trees, and knocked out power in parts of Gasparilla on Thursday. Video on social media showed the extent of damage to buildings in the community. Speaking with members of the media, some of the affected residents gave insight into what happened.
A tornado passed and pick up the roof and gone with it. That was 1 o'clock. I lost my roof and everything inside wet up. Right now I'm so nervous still, frightened.
All of a house under construction collapsed.
Councillor Ravi Puran Maraj from the Kuva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation told reporters several homes were damaged and the disaster management unit continues to do assessments in the area.
Councillor Ravi Puran Maraj, there was some severe weather, tornado-like winds that would have passed through a certain part of Gasparilla. It would have come through Surprise Avenue, Peku Avenue. It crossed over into Rahman Drive. There were some trees that were blown down at the Gasparilla Secondary School. We had some roofs blown off in that area as well. We are on the ground here right now with the Disaster Management Unit of the Cuba Tabaki Regional Corporation. So far, we have visited at least 80% of the homes, taking the information, gathering the information, and doing that first initial assessment. So far, no injury, no loss of life or limb. We have damage to one vehicle at the Gasparilla Secondary School. A branch would have fallen onto the vehicle of a park vehicle of a teacher at the school there. So far, we have visited at least 7 houses, and we have at least 4 more to visit.
Meanwhile, Caribbean Airlines confirms that due to high winds associated with the early afternoon thunderstorms, several galvanized sheets on a section of hangars 9 and 10 at its Piarco base were displaced. There were no injuries and all personnel are safe. Contractors are already on site conducting an assessment and have secured the loose sheets. Government is still interested in moving ahead with the Libre Deepwater Dry Docking Facility. Minister of Energy and Energy Industries Stuart Young revealed the necessary groundwork is taking place for such a significant project. He said matters relating to getting the relevant environmental approvals are being sought. Speaking at the Energy Matters Breakfast event this week, Minister Young said various processes are required by the Environmental Management Authority and government will comply with the EMA Act.
Where we are right now with that is we are in the process of going through the environmental. You all know with the EMA Act, you have to go through these processes. So right now we've applied for the CEC. That project is a government project. And the government has a contractor that they'd engaged with some time ago. So sometimes you will see persons putting out advertisements, come and apply, come and do this, and I understand they've been taking people's money. That is fraud.
Minister Young said the government is moving to diversify the economy and said that there are plans to establish a state-of-the-art floating dry dock in Chaguaramas.
We're perfectly placed geographically when you're coming down through the Panama Canal or going up to the Panama Canal for ships just to come in here, do the repairs they need to get their supplies, etc. We're also pursuing a floating dry dock in Chaguaramas, a state-of-the-art floating dry dock that we're hoping to replace. Government purchased the carry dock facility.
You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago. Sunny periods will be interrupted by some cloudy to overcast periods with rainfall. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 33 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 27 degrees Celsius at Piarco and already 30 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Recapping your headlines at 7 o'clock. Funeral body board says parents should sue the state on the condition of murdered siblings' bodies. Crime affecting TNT's sustainable development goals, warns a United Nations official. Strong winds affect homes and a school in Gasparillo, and the government moving ahead with Liberate Deepwater dry docking facility. I'm Afril Sindilbab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail coming up at 12 noon, and an update is coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you, Avril, for our major news. Of course, you can join her again. Come at 8 o'clock for our news brief. And then again at noon for major news once again. All right. Quickly, let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. It is that peak time. You got traffic from Maloney to Curep. Yeah. And then Curep to Port of Spain. Ibis Gardens to the highway. Kelly Village. St. Helena. Yeah, you got it. Eastern Main Road, usual spots. You've got it going up Lady Young Road, Maraval, Digo Mountain. I should just repeat the traffic from yesterday. San Fernando, usual spots again. You got some traffic as you leave San Fernando. And that's it. All right. That's it. Good morning to Ron M., Leonard Naipaul, Curtis Pigott. Good morning. All right. You guys back in? Let's see what's happening. Let's get into our poll and take some calls.
All right. And our poll this morning is, do you believe the state should be blamed for the state of the bodies of the young ones? Well, I think we'll go with the funeral home, yes? Because in one of those stories that Richard would have read, it was the blame was being pointed towards the funeral home. It's a bit confusing, but I think in the main
it is confusing because when the parents went to view the bodies, I believe at forensics, they were already in a state of decay. So
I don't know that a funeral home is responsible for the bodies whilst they are at forensic, but we'll go with that one because the state is a little wide. The question on the state is a little too wide. So we'll go with the funeral home. Do you believe the funeral home should be blamed for the state of the bodies of the 4 murder victims? All right? We'll go with that one. And we had a few people voting already. We had Winston Jones saying no. Ron M saying no, the bodies were taken to the funeral agency in good condition, so he's saying no. Curtis Pigott said no. Curtis Pigott Esquire said no. Julia Batiste said no. All right, and Bonia West, Miss Bonia West said yes. Okay, so those are the...
All right, so 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. That's our numbers directly into our studio. You can give us a call.
All right. So, do you believe the funeral home should be blamed for the state of the bodies? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Leonard Naipaul also said no.
Thanks, Leonard.
Yeah. I don't know how the TTPS coming at, honestly. I mean, the TTPS could be blamed for a lot of things, but I don't know how they could be blamed for the state of the bodies of the murder victims.
Did you all see that video of a police officer that moonlights at security at a supermarket in Carnage took a grinder, broke into the supermarket, stole
He was
cash,
stupid.
decided, well, I know where the DVR is. I'll go and take it. Not knowing that it's being monitored outside.
Well, most people do that. I don't know how
I have
people
that.
are so stupid.
My cameras are monitored outside of the office. So you come, they will see. You can take the DVR, they will see.
But it would have captured the image, the footage anyway.
I don't know.
Oh God, he had to be, and he in uniform, eh? He went back in uniform.
All the tools not in that shed, bro. Let's grab this call. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Sammy Grandy, no.
All right, Grandy. Thank you so much. Have a good
Ingrid
one.
said
Have a great
yes.
weekend.
And Gregory Boyer said no.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Morning, Miss Ingrid. All right. So 222. Do you believe the funeral home should be blamed for the state of the bodies of the 4 young individuals that were killed a week ago in Guanapo? You know, you already have a horrible death. Then this to happen, you know, it's just sexy San Fernando, behave. You know, it's just, we need to get stuff working properly in this country, in all sectors.
All right.
All sectors.
Gregory said his vote is yes. He changing his vote. He said he meant to vote yes. All right. J97 also said yes. And they went on to say the funeral home is responsible. The TTPS hands over the bodies from the crime scene to a funeral home to be stored.
Well, that's another question. Let's see this call. Good morning.
Good morning, Dudu. Good morning, guys. My answer is yes.
All righty, Ms. Maloney. Thank you. Well, I know the TTPS would hand over the bodies to forensics. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, they say this person is saying it goes to the funeral home to be stored until forensic center is ready for the autopsy. That's what this person is saying here.
I don't
I'm not
think
too
that's
sure
correct
that happens in all instances.
No, because they get a police escort to forensics, because now if it goes to a funeral home, it could be tampered.
Yeah, so I think in murder victims, they go straight to forensics. I'm not sure they go to...
As far as I know, it goes straight to forensics. Forensics hates on Monday. Yeah.
Rena Buru Jennings says yes. Sherwin Kerr says yes. We got your vote already, Miss Ingrid. Leonard also says yes, no, the police. Well, Leonard, you need to... I'm not sure what you're saying, Leonard. You say yes, no. The police department. I'm not sure what that is. Alistair Hart says yes. Carol Guevara says yes. Right? So, the yeses have taken over slightly from the no's.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you believe the funeral home is to be blamed? Yes or no? As far as I'm aware, and a police officer, we have lots of them listening, and former ones too, could tell me if with murder victims, if they take it to a funeral home first, take the bodies to a funeral home first, or directly to forensics. Because we see them escorting those bodies pell-mell through traffic sometimes, and it's going to forensics. I don't know that they're going to...
I don't see the point of going pell-mell or whatever it is. I don't see the point of that.
Well, maybe it's to avoid the same thing, to get it in the freezer fast. I don't know. Bodies decay so quickly.
No.
That you have to have a police escort running people out of the way to get you there.
I don't know. No, I can get police escort for anything.
Well.
All right. 222-8255. Toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Do you believe the funeral home should be blamed for the state of the bodies of the 4 young Guanapo children, the murder victims? Yes or no?
Yep. So you know our poll, 222 talk, 222-8255. North Americans 866-525-1099. And of course, that's an absolutely toll-free number for those of you in North America. People in other parts of the planet, you can also vote 1-868-222-talk, 222-8255. People on the web and the app, or whether you're watching or streaming, you'll have to send your votes via the comment section on the YouTube stream.
Look now, day before yesterday, I go on the road and I listen to another radio station. And I hear the host, very popular host, blurt out the word about, they're talking about football or netball, someone on the sport. And they say the team get a cut. And they didn't say Taylor, they say cut donkey. Twice he said. I wonder if they get a letter.
They'll get a letter from Tat. They'll get a letter
I
from
wonder
Tat.
if they get a letter for that. He
Yeah,
said
that's
twice, they
in the
get
word.
a cut donkey.
Yeah. We have a call. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I think I heard already the reason for that fast, that pell-mell to the forensic is to preserve evidence. I think that is why they just try to reach as fast as possible with the dead bodies to the thing. I think I heard that on Beyond the Tape or something like that.
You know, you might be right, caller. You know why you might be right? Because when we interviewed Dr. Alexandrov, he had said they are never invited to a crime scene. Remember that? He said that? Forensic should be at the crime scene.
Yeah, and I would like to know, I don't know, but this thing about about blaming the funeral, I am privy to what it is really happening, but I don't understand why they want to blame the state or blame the funeral home for the, I don't know what transpired. If you all don't mind, if you look at what transpired, I don't know. I don't understand why they want to blame them.
But it had to be that because the bodies weren't refrigerated. Why they decayed?
They were refrigerated after it went to the funeral home or before they pick it up, or what is the?
That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know.
Funeral home wouldn't pick up bodies and just leave it in the funeral home just to rot without refrigerating it, and that will stink up the place.
That's what I'm thinking too.
All right. Thank you.
You have to pick up the bodies already in a state of decomposition. And that ain't making much sense. I don't understand.
But I think Kate Belgrove is saying,
thank you, caller,
that the state and the police are responsible. So I think he's blaming between forensic and the TTPS. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
All right, you have a couple of minutes again. You have 2 more minutes again to vote on our poll. Do you believe the funeral homes should be blamed for the state of the bodies of the 4 young Guanapo children who were killed a week ago?
Ron M., you are correct. We first said the state, but then we realized the state was so broad. You understand? The issue of the blaming the state was so broad because we don't know who really they blaming, if it's forensics, the police, or what. So we went back to the funeral homes because that was also said in one of the articles, right? So we narrowed it down to the funeral homes. The question to the funeral home.
All right, we have a call here. Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, we listen.
Okay. No, I'm just hearing hi. I wondering if I get the right number. The voice sounds.
Steve on a different kind of high this morning.
That was the idea.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
You catch me. Go ahead.
Right now I am confused because I could remember when I tell you, I keep telling all you this country jokey and we're not mighty, sorry to be saying it. When my brother got killed in Trin City in front his gate, the crime scene was cordoned off. As we will see on the television, you're watching CSI Miami. The DMO was called. The DMO have to pronounce the person dead. My sister, as a nurse, the DMO saw her and he said, come and go, what are you doing here? And she said, it's my brother. He said, come and go with me, he'll identify the body. He went with her, both of them went. Then They declared him dead, and he say, okay, the police is the one calls the funeral home. I don't know who, if they have funeral homes, work with them. They take them. Now, that murder happened 1:30 Saturday morning. My brother was at a funeral. Now, a murder scene, eh? This country, I don't know. My brother body went down to forensic Monday morning. You hear me? Now, I am hearing, and I was listening to I-95 just now, where Tony Lee was reading out what the
Yeah, quickly, Diego
director
Martin.
of the funeral home said, and he is saying here, now, if a body's supposed to go directly to forensic, you know what he's saying? How some bodies are in the car park in the heat. Now, I think all your vehicles should be air conditioned. And he is saying that is one of the reasons some of the bodies end up being in that state of decay. Oh my God, listen, I don't know what to say. They need, and you know what he said?
You ain't vote yet, Ms. Diego Martin.
Yeah, and I have a lot of
I
calls
said
coming
yes.
through.
So, but Steve, and I said yes in the beginning.
All
I
right,
say yes,
okay.
there should be food.
All right.
The man is saying he's trying to get in touch with the commissioner. He wrote up 5 letters, no response. What the hell going on in this country? I'm real upset this morning. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I believe you all being my vote. I can't vote because I believe without the information.
Okay, well, right now we just taking votes. So if you can't vote, thank you for calling. You just vote you want. We'll open the line shortly.
All right then.
All right.
Open the lines.
Yeah, opening it up shortly. We just want to I want to end this poll coming up in 30 seconds. So, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
What I was just trying to consider that issue, who put the bill to the funeral home? Is it the state put the bill, or the parents, or the family of the deceased?
It would be the family that would fit the bill at the funeral home.
Yeah. Also be the family. So even if it's a murder, the family take possession of the body. Well, then neither the state neither the state can be responsible for that. If the family arrange the necessary funeral home and place the body in a funeral home of their choice, probably that they can afford. Because you say it is the family.
Well, you want to vote?
But I think, yeah, because our poll is just saying, do you believe the funeral homes should be blamed for the state of the bodies of the 4 Guanapo siblings?
The order of how things are done, we don't know. We don't know if when a body is removed from a crime scene, if it goes to the funeral home first, or if it goes to forensics first, or forensics and then to the funeral home, or funeral home and then to the forensic. We really don't know the order until we speak to someone who is familiar with the proceedings. We don't know, but we're going based on articles in today's newspaper. So we're asking if you think the funeral home should be blamed. The possibility of blaming the forensics, that's another poll. Or the TTPS, as suggested, is another poll. We really don't know.
All right. Well, all right. So let's get the results of our morning poll then. All right. We asked you, do you believe the funeral homes should be blamed for the state, the bodies of the 4 young Guanapo children that were killed?
We had 10 people saying yes and 7 saying no. All right. Well, Akello Charles is saying if it's a weekend, it goes to the funeral home first. All right? I think that's, Akello, I think you're absolutely correct with that, because I would have experienced that family deaths over a weekend. And in most cases, well, they weren't murder victims, that's the only thing. You call the funeral home after the body has been pronounced, the person has been pronounced dead, because the police must come to the home if it's a death at the home, and they pronounce the person dead, and the funeral home is who comes to pick up the body. That's what I know. That's been my experience. I don't know what happens with a murder victim. I really don't know. In this case, we're talking about 4 murder victims, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know
kids.
who would have where those bodies would have gone after being removed from the scene. I don't know. Richard, you're silent.
Obviously, this kind of situation calls out, it's on the front page of a couple of the dailies this morning. It obviously calls out for a workflow process that needs to be solidified in terms of when issues like this happen.
Yes.
What is the workflow?
Yes.
Does forensics needs to be resourced and they're the ones that pick up the body? Because it can't be satisfactory if this is what happening. I don't know if this is what happening. Let me put that proviso. But it cannot be satisfactory that if a murder takes place, that it is being transported in a facility that is not preserving the body in a particular way.
Yeah.
Because the mere idea Keith Belgrove is indicating that this is not the first time means there's a problem with the workflow.
Yeah.
And the workflow needs to be addressed.
Yes.
With all of the stakeholders in the respective roles that they perform, having a discussion about how to properly, and the police is a big part of that, because they have to be at the crime scene. Forensics is part of that. And of course, well, the funeral agency also becomes that. So you have certain stakeholders and they need to work it out.
You know what? I was listening also to a testimonial or story from a report from Dr. Rahman, the former head of the pharmacy board. Remember, we have interviewed him many times?
Yep.
His brother was a murder victim in St. James. His brother was murdered in St. James outside his home. His brother was also a pharmacist.
Yes, I remember
And he said when they got to forensics, his brother's body was in such a terrible condition. They had to do a closed casket funeral for him. He said that. I heard him on radio yesterday talking about that. And I'm saying, wow. So I don't know if it's a problem with murder victims as opposed to normal deaths at the homes of family members or whatever. Because with a normal death, as I said, you call the funeral home. The funeral home comes and picks up the body. I know that for sure, right? With murder victims, I'm not sure what happens. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure.
Well, an autopsy, anytime it's an unusual death, an autopsy has to be performed.
Right. Because there are some families,
Richard,
there are some families who don't want their body cut, their families cut open. They don't want autopsies done. There are some families insist that they don't want it.
No, but if it's an unusual death, I don't think they have a choice.
Right. So if it's a death that the police may find unusual, then they probably won't have a choice. But if a doctor comes and based on medical records, this person was ailing or whatever, it will be considered a natural death. And there are some families who do not want bodies, postmortems, autopsies done on their body.
Yeah,
right? I know that for sure. Yeah. Because we have chosen
in cases like that.
We have chosen that route as a family too. We don't want our family body cut open, So, but there's a lot of issues surrounding deaths. That you're right. A workflow needs to be created in terms of people know what to
happens,
expect,
especially with regard to murders, because obviously it's a problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is a problem. And obviously, two of the stakeholders, according to the newspapers this morning, two of the stakeholders are suffering communication issues. Because the Funeral Association is saying they have sent letters to the Commissioner of Police and there is no communication happening. So it means, I'm not so sure who this comes under. Maybe this is a national security issue. So the Minister of National Security is probably going to have to say, look, this is, because it's unfortunately a byproduct of how violent the society has become.
Yeah, yes.
So the Minister of National Security will be the one that says, okay, the police, so-and-so, let's work it out. He may have to take a lead on it.
Yes,
if it is that the stakeholders themselves can't manage the conversation, somebody has to take a lead. Somebody has to be the adult in the room.
Yeah. Who's the head of forensics now? Forensics comes under national security, you know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it does.
Yes, they do. I know that for sure. They do.
As does the TTPS.
Yes. Yes. So you're right. National security may have to take lead on this in terms of clearing up the issues for people.
Just resolving it because it's obviously affecting families. This is one that has come to the light, but from what you're seeing from what he has commented on, it's not the first time.
Yeah.
So it means you have families who are horrified at the state of their loved ones in terms of they already, so it's like you're suffering abuse because of the violence in the system, and then you're suffering another abuse because the system doesn't have a workflow in place.
Yeah, yeah.
That is working efficiently. So,
all right. So J97 is saying what I was thinking. He said, guys, the bodies of murder victims are not turned over to the family until after the autopsy. Forensics department does not operate on a weekend, so the police hands over the body to a funeral home. Oh, well, okay. So the police would carry the body of murder victim over the weekend to a funeral home, and then it goes back to forensic. Is that what J97 is saying? So who's responsible for that expense at the funeral home then? It can't be the family, because the family is not taking control of the body as yet. That's very confusing.
And that raises so many things in my mind. Because if forensics shuts down on the weekend, okay, a murder takes place Friday evening or Friday night. God forbid, there should be no murders at all. But I'm just giving a hypothetical.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. So that murder takes place on X night. For the weekend, forensics is closed. So no autopsy is being done. I want to believe that some murders are resolved and people are held accountable by the results of the forensic report.
Correct.
If I watch enough NCIS and Law and Order, the forensic team is always a big part of those shows.
It is.
In revealing this is how the person died. That seems to suggest who might be responsible. It's a crucial piece of evidence in the mosaic of how you are solving a particular offense. So if you commit an offense of murder on a Friday evening, you know you have you had the weekend to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they can't come for you if they don't know how the man dead.
If it is you poison the person and you're the person, you could go Barbados on the weekend.
Yeah.
Because if you know the forensic clothes.
Yeah.
And all the poison could be sitting down right in the kitchen. The poison could be right in the kitchen cupboard that the police looking around and seeing the clue and they see the poison, but they all the man poison because an autopsy has to be done. But the autopsy can't be done because you have to pause on Friday night until Monday morning. Then the autopsy done and they say, hey, is the poison? Hey, I remember I see that in the cupboard, boy.
Richard,
in the house.
Richard, and you know why? You know what? You ever pass by forensics on a Monday morning?
No.
You ever happen to pass there by Long Circular Barbados Road on a Monday morning? The amount of people you see there? And so the person is maybe right that anything, you have to wait until Monday morning to get anything done. My God.
Oh, anyway.
Trinidad and Tobago.
You know what, Wendell?
We'll always live on.
Well, Wendell, you know what? Maybe they know better. Maybe, maybe what we're talking about here doesn't really make sense. So maybe forensics knows better and the police know better. And we should just default to them.
Yeah. And as Akello says, maybe those guys in the white suits that you see on crime scenes, they have all the answers. They pick up they don't realize this man poisoned and that the poison come from this cupboard and that is that family member fingerprint on the bottle. Maybe they do all that, Richard, and we don't know.
My hands are outstretched, Wendell.
I visited some churches in Portugal, and I'm telling you, I was so enlightened. by the churches, the structures, the calmness, the peace.
Mm.
Oh, Portugal is such a wonderful place.
Yeah.
You know?
I have to tell you, send me the link.
I will do that. I'm going to do that.
Oh, Lord, because I don't know.
Because I'm probably headed right back there very soon.
I don't know. Maybe we're talking. Of course, we are not in the process, so we would be ignorant of the processes. But we just try to be logical about it. But maybe there is a better explanation to all of it that we are missing.
Well, if we could get a funeral home director, one of them, either Mr. Belgrove or one of the Denny's guys, because they'll be familiar, because they're picking up bodies whether they get murdered or not. They are dealing with bodies, you understand, all different types of deaths. So maybe they could give us an idea of what actually is supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know? A funeral home will be the ideal person to speak with, a funeral home director.
Yeah.
You know, so
but they would have at least they would have an overview from their perspective of how it plays.
Yeah. Because they're dealing with all the different types of deaths. Whether it's a suspicious death at home, whether it's a natural death, or whether it's a death by murder.
Yeah.
You know? Because there are murders at home that nobody picks up in.
I don't know where Steve is.
Yeah.
So we can get more interactive with our listeners at this point, because it is Friday, and Fridays generally when we would be very interactive with our callers. So maybe we could open up the lines. I'm not so sure where Steve is. So Ruben, tell Steve we want him to take calls.
Yeah.
So we can open up the lines. You can start calling in the interim. I expect Steve will suddenly appear. So 222-TALK, 222-8255, and North Americans 866-525-1099, toll free, and those are the numbers you can call. Of course, people, if you're out of North America and Trinidad and Tobago, you could call 1-868-222-8255. Just reminding you, of course, that theater is on this weekend. Nikki Crosby 50ish and Hot AF starts and premieres at Queen's Hall and on Saturday night, which is tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. And tickets are available at the Queen's Hall box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily, as well as our usual outlets, which include Electronics in Arima, Rumbox in St. James, Crosby's in St. James, K-Squared Fashions in Eastgate and in West Mall, Sharflair Auto Services, and Tony's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza, Jabeli Rawe in Tunapuna, and of course, Creme Fresh at Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. Creme Fresh is also a venue for the next week, and they already have tickets for Bacchanal, Bubble, and Bad Behavior, which is on next weekend and premieres at the Naparima Bowl on Saturday and Sunday. And of course, the outlets for that show would be K-Squared in C3 Center and Gulf City, as well as Fens of Marabella by the Roundabout.
All right.
So now you know.
Yep, we have some calls. Good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Morning.
Morning, Wendell.
Good morning, Ms. Dabney.
Richard and Paul, if you can hear. Good morning, Dr. Paul.
Morning.
So since I was trying to get you to see Sir Charles, but the electricity gave him a bill. So I couldn't finish the conversation with Sir Charles. I want to find out from which point first that the body leaves to get to the funeral home, because I was saying if it's a murder and say they were they were pronounced dead at the hospital, the next point of entry is supposed to be the police involved and taking the body to the forensics department. So I don't think funeral home will get involved just yet. I don't know, but I just want to find out, because this thing sounding so messy, and after these 4 children died so brutally, to go through this decomposition of their bodies for appearance to stomach.
Well, Ms. Dabney, according to one of our people who messaged us, and I know him well, Akello, that is Akello? No, guy, J97, I think, right?
Yeah. Thank you,
J97 and Akello. That once it happens over a weekend, it has to go to a funeral home and not the forensics.
And then maybe they have a contract with a funeral home that will take place. We have another call. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
One question. See if you all can answer this for me. when a body leaves a crime scene, in whose custody is it?
You basically asking the same thing she
Same thing
just
we
posed to
asking.
us. We not sure.
Well,
Maybe during the week there's one process, and on a weekend is another.
Well, then you see, custody has to be determined, and who is in charge of the body when it leaves a crime scene.
Yeah. That
right?
we don't know.
One more question, Wendell, on the flow issue you was talking about.
Richard, yeah, go ahead.
Richard, yeah. Have you noticed that flow, you're paying flow for a package, which includes like ABC, CBS, and NBC and those things, right? You're paying for that. But they are taking certain shows off of those channels and putting it on their channel. I think it's called Rush Prime or something.
Yes.
Telling you have to go to that channel to watch the program that comes on the channel that you are paying for in your package.
That's been an age-old debate.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say who pay for the rights and all kind of thing.
I have been calling this complaints authority, but they worse than Flo. I called them on 6 occasions.
Careful, get a letter from Tat, eh? You'll get a letter from Tat for that.
Yeah, every time you call them, you get a recording that they will get back to you. Between last week, Monday, and yesterday, I called them 6 times, and nobody gets back to you. So why?
Look, I swear all these companies do have some racket running with B-Mobile or TSCT. The length of time they just keep you there before you get on to somebody.
And the link to that.
All of them.
You know? Because the citizens between a rock and a hard place.
Yep. You had to send an email. Apparently, all of them only communicate by emails now.
Well, Richard, I agree with you. I rarely check email unless it's family. If I see emails from family, I check it. The other emails, I check it by the way. Right? But I can't understand why Flo is doing this. Flo is deriving more revenue from that channel because they're showing advertisements, right? And you are paying them for that, for those channels, that those programs come down, and they're not and they're poor. They enter, like I'm watching Jeopardy. They're running commercials, and when they re-enter Jeopardy second section is already started. You know, I don't understand what redress citizens have. We don't have no protection from these people in this country.
None.
People, look at get some answers now.
All right.
Have a good
And
weekend.
look now, and they have this way of you hearing, like if they actually type in, and then they say, we are experiencing an inordinately large amount of calls today. But,
that's
annoying me when I listen to that nonsense.
Not a standard message. It could be one person on the line or 300. You're getting that message.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller.
Hi, hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Hi, Wendell. Morning. You'll make up my voice. What happens with when the police on a crime scene, what they will normally do, they will call a funeral home. I don't know if you all remember years ago, they were saying there's a sort of mafia going on where certain funeral homes will be called to remove the bodies.
Yes,
And
we had heard that back then.
They are the ones who determine which funeral agency. And most time you find that they call like these fly-by-night funeral agencies, because I don't know if you all noticed, funeral agencies just opening up all over the country, no license,
Yes.
no approval.
They have a Ragu Bar things, funeral home in Arima.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that today, Richard.
So,
I was to
and
take
you
a
know,
picture.
Why are you saying that after she said fly by night? I don't understand you. That is a legitimate agency.
So, you know, they hardly ever call the most
I don't
prominent
understand.
funeral agency. So they will call the ones who maybe, I think the government is the one who will pay those funeral agencies. So they will call the funeral agencies who mightn't have no refrigeration system and the system not working. So I think that is where the problem comes in. And
We
I
have
think
funeral agencies without refrigeration. I do believe that.
it's not working. It might be down. It mightn't be good. Yes, you'll be surprised because remember, who visits funeral home to say, okay, everything is good here, you can operate.
That's a very good point. Who does that? Which agency does that?
Wait now, I now recognize the voice. Is this is LP? This LP?
Yes, it is.
Nice to hear you, man.
All right.
Because
Thank you.
remember where I used to work, so I know about these things. So
Yes,
you'll be
you would
surprised
know,
what
you
goes
would
on in
know.
these funeral homes. You'll be surprised.
All righty.
Yeah,
Thank
so-
you.
It's
All the
an
best.
interesting point.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Who double
Guys,
checks?
that lady was very helpful to both of you all before too. I
Really?
won't tell you I wouldn't expose her name on
Send it
air,
in the
but
group. Let me know before we
she's
close
been
our
very
day.
helpful
Put it
to
in the
both
group.
of you all.
Who
Good morning, caller.
double checks
Good morning,
the
guys.
safety requirements of funeral agencies?
No
Which
idea.
agency does that?
I
No
don't
idea.
know.
I have no
Good
clue.
morning, guys.
It's like a mechanic shop.
That is a very relevant question that is asked here. As I was saying this morning, I felt you all asked an unfair question without the information. Now we still speculating about the process. So to cast blame on any institution might be a bit unfair.
We didn't cast blame on anybody, Lincoln.
No. I'm not saying you cast blame. I'm saying the poll question was casting blame.
Well,
right?
regardless of where we went with that poll this morning, blame would have been cast either to the TTPS,
Yes, that is
to
why
forensics, or to the funeral home. We chose the funeral home.
The poll question was an unfair question.
All right, move on.
No, I don't know. Have any one of you all ever had the experience to go into forensic center to maybe view an autopsy or anything like that?
No. I have.
Have you seen bodies on top of bodies like chicken in a fridge?
No.
Did you go into the refrigerator or did you just see the autopsy?
Okay. Go ahead. I have a lot of calls coming through.
Went in the room with the body on the slab.
My point is, okay, so you didn't go into the refrigerator. I had the privilege of going into the refrigerator. It's a mess. Bodies are treated in the most inhumane way in the forensic science center. I don't know about funeral homes, but apart from that, we have had the experience where the head of the funeral home agency, I remember him admitting on public radio that they are overwhelmed, they're overworked, one of them had to retire, had to go back to wherever country he was because it was too much autopsies for a year. They're supposed to do a certain amount in a year, and in Trinidad they were doing too much. So one, forensic science center is overwhelmed. Two, if the process is in fact that to take the bodies to a funeral home on a weekend, if because forensic science center is closed. Now we understand why crimes are not being solved in this country. Because if our body had to wait 48 hours or 72 hours before you could do an autopsy, and then even when it's open on Monday, that is no guarantee that the autopsy is going to be done on Monday. So now we can't depend on forensic to solve crime in this country at all. You understand? We're in a bad place. What I'm simply saying is that we're in a bad place.
You blaming forensics now then for crime?
All right, Lincoln, thank you.
I'm blaming the process.
The system
is broken.
Mm.
You understand?
All right.
We know
Thank
that
you.
for sure.
Another call. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning to all.
Morning, Ellie. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Richard. And good morning, Mr. Steven.
How are you going, Ellie? Long time no hear from man.
I do okay. I've been listening all the time. I was calling, I listen all the time. And then this time I get up to here to go to work. Steve, what is I joined the program when you guys was doing the poll. Is it that the bodies wasn't preserved properly or something like that? Is that the report?
Yes.
Yeah. In a nutshell,
The
yeah.
family complained about the state
The
of
family,
decomposition
the
of
family
body.
went. The family went to forensics to identify the bodies. They were only able to vaguely identify one because the state of which the bodies were in.
Because I really hear a report that the city is going to be closed casket funeral, and one of the parents said they couldn't even kiss the child goodbye or something like that. I really hear that because I thought that because that the result of the shooting happened, the body was that I thought that. I didn't thought that was because of decomposition. Because but I know I hear you guys saying that the forensics will be closed on a weekend. Is that true?
That's what somebody messaged us.
Yeah, somebody messaged us. And
Yeah, we cannot confirm when they open and close.
I remember going to forensics years ago, about 10 years or maybe more ago. one of my sister passed away, God rest her soul. And I went to that place, but I had to identify the body or something like that. I can't remember where I went this one. That place was a total mess then. And from then to now, no improvement. When it is, we keep saying we 60 years or 61 years, when it is you will get right, boy, anything, when you will get right, boy. I don't want to digress from the program. Steve, I don't know if you still have a video with a child in a school gets stabbed yesterday. Is that true? Is that
Yes. Yes, they were in the Tunapuna area.
Child gets stabbed in a school.
Yeah, from one school to another, he got stabbed in his upper back and I believe his arm. And the TDPS has stated that they have students from that school which they are going to question. That happened yesterday in the Tunapuna area. Why are children carrying knives to school once again?
I don't know. I just don't know. Hey, Wendell, between Portugal and Kumasi, which one you like better?
That's a hard one.
Right.
That's a hard one. I love
Thanks,
both.
Ellie.
I love both.
All right, all the best. All righty.
I
Good
can
morning.
easily live anywhere.
Good morning, Steve again. One other thing I needed to mention. I think an interview with the parents or the family of the deceased might be, once they are up to it, might give us some clarity as to where the body may have been decomposed or at what stage it decomposed, if it's a funeral home, if it's forensics or whatever. Or the police, or an interview from a funeral agency would bring some clarity and some understanding to the citizenry, because we have a lot of questions from this situation.
All right.
So I don't know if you could use your office and find the right person to interview. I know it's already 8 o'clock, but maybe Monday you could tackle that if it's
Monday is budget day, so
Monday is
we'll
budget
see what
day,
goes on. Thank you.
Yeah,
all righty.
Budget is not until 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we could try a funeral home. I recommend a funeral home or somebody from forensics.
All right, I'll see. Good morning. I don't know anybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
A caller a short while ago just made a point about the fact that so many funeral agencies are popping up. And I'm hoping and praying that there is a link between those agencies, those fly-by-night agencies, allegedly, and the proliferation of murders. Because if those are the ones that are being used for when their murders are committed to keep the bodies, is it a situation where people are intentionally being murdered so that they can...
No, caller. Don't even put that out there in the universe.
Yeah.
Don't even put that out there in the universe.
We need to consider all possibilities, because what is the reason? What is the justification for these murders? What is it?
Well, it could be they also seeing the fact that a lot of murders are happening, and they decide they're going into a business that they could profit on. I would even want to. To even
Thank you,
think
caller.
that somebody would be murdering people so they could get business. Oh no. No.
All right, gentlemen, this is where we're going to wrap it up for this week.
Well, it's Friday, so put a smile on your face wherever you are. I mean, we've been talking some tough topics this week. It has been that kind of week. But you know, it is Friday, and ultimately, you have to try and enjoy life. So put a smile on the face wherever you are, reminding you that theater's on this weekend. Nikki 50ish and Hot AF. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, well, I don't know how many are left, because I'm telling you, droves of tickets have been selling for the entire week. Nikki is back at Queen's Hall on tomorrow night at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. And tickets are available at the Queen's Hall box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. So you can get your tickets there. You can check RSRR Productions theater page for all of the information, even if you want to buy tickets online, which I know some Southerners were asking about that. And of course, next weekend, I'll remind you, because Bacchanal, Bubble, and Bad Behavior and tickets are already selling for that play, which is taking place next week and premieres at the Naparima Bowl in San Fernando next week, Saturday and Sunday. Have a fantastic weekend, whatever you do. And remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Last episode of Mixed Up tonight. Before this first season of Mixed Up comes to an end, so you should not miss it at 8 p.m.
All right, folks, have an
Thank you,
absolutely wonderful weekend. Be careful on the nation's roads. Look out for our young ones in particular. And remember to let go and let God. Bye-bye.
All right, gentlemen, we'll chat soon. Have a good one. Folks, keep it locked on. So Charlie's up next. I got to run because I have to be in San Juan for 8:30. Yeah, as we're moving the pet butler from Harris Street in Curep to Elsgrove Road. It is just high up from Gilal and the mosque and lower down, 1 block down from the Unipet gas station from the Quasi. We'll be starting there from Monday. We have a lot of work to do. All right, so I'll be heading there. All right, and of course, our telephone numbers remain the same. WhatsApp is 710-8725, and store phone will be 610-8725. Have a good one, folks. Talk to you guys brighter than come Budget Monday. Let's get into our 8 o'clock news brief. Avi is there.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.